What's going on? What's going on, everybody? If you don't know, now you do know. You're officially tuned into another special edition of the Hfwb podcast series. I'm your host, Clifton Pope, and with me, I have a special man here, a very motivational brother, man. He's been all over the place. You know, if he ain't speaking at a school or a gym or doing something for the community, he's out there getting his grind on and motivating others to do the same as well. So I'm not going to waste any time by bringing on this guest here I have today, Mr. Dave Messa from Top Tier Motivation and Fitness. How's it going, Dave? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Cliff? Good to see you. Good to see how y'all doing. All the viewers that are logged on and have an ear to us this morning. God bless y'all, man. I'm doing great, Cliff, man. Thank you for having me on, brother.
Thank you for taking the time to make this happen, because I know we've talked about this from time and time over and over again. Hey, I'm going to get you on the podcast. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm going to do that. And the fact that we're actually making this happen, it just proves to show it's all no talk and it's all just walking, baby. But
Yeah.
Overall, I want to ask you this first question here. I mean, I know a little bit about this as far as, you know, a lot of people don't know that we went to high school together in Moody, and we're kind of like a couple of years apart as far as the graduation and everything. But Tell the people who are listening to the Hfwb podcast at this moment, what is Dave Messa's upbringing, background, and how did he all get started?
Yeah, man. So first of all, yeah, Dave Messa, born right here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Grew up on the city's west side and on Bolivar, right off of Greenwood, and went to Crockett Elementary as a young kid. Grew up right there in the neighborhood, man, on the city's west side. Rough upbringing there, low income community. My mom moved over across the way to the south central of the city, which is Ayers and Galahar, which at one point was the south, but as development started, increasing further south, it kind of became Central City. So I grew up after leaving, the city's west side. I moved there with my mom on Blundell and Sunnybrook, where I attended Fannin Elementary for a good part of my elementary years. And went over to South Park, which is now the school's demolished. There's no more South Park. It's a new school. It's called South Park at Cunningham, or Cunningham at South Park, one of those. And grew up there, man. A rough upbringing as well, in the streets, in the gang life. Never was affiliated with gangs, but always running around and having trouble with different gangs in the neighborhood. Definitely was fighting. But I did play a lot of sports. That's what kept me grounded and kept me kind of tied into school, was knowing that I had to pass and I had to behave to play on Friday nights or Tuesday nights whenever we had football games, basketball games. Played a lot of sports, was very active in middle school as an athlete, as you were as well, Cliff.
Yep, for sure.
And then I went to Moody High School, man, where me and Cliff both graduated from. Still rough, still trying to find my way. Had a rough senior year. Dealt with depression, dealt with a lot of anxiety of what I would become coming out of high school, and some of the fears of not succeeding gave me the reasons to just quit out a lot of stuff, man, just to throw in the towel. That way, if I didn't succeed, it wasn't because I wasn't good enough. It was just because I made that choice on my own. So, yeah, man, grew up like that. And couple years out of high school, I had my daughter when I was 21, Lisa Nicole Messa. She's 8 now. And slowly but surely at the age of 19, I started giving my life to Christ, started walking in faith a bit more. And when I was 24, I decided to go back to college, where I got my associate's degree in process technology. Now I'm working on my bachelor's in health, safety, environmental. But yeah, man, just through growing up and trying to do better, I found an avenue for myself, and through hearing people that motivated me, I wanted to help motivate others. So that's where I started the brand Top Tier Motivation and Fitness, to try to, branch out and create an environment and a culture where, I'm helping the community and I'm giving back and I'm motivating and I'm staying motivated as well.
And that kind of just leads into the next question I had for you, as far as what is top tier motivation and fitness to those who have never heard about it as far as on the podcast series? Because I personally have been following it. I love it. I am motivated every time because it makes me want to work even harder at what I do with health, fitness, wealth, business, and everything. But for those who are listening right now and who have never heard of top tier motivation and fitness, what is it? How did it all come about? And what's the origin, the background story, man?
Yeah, so Top Tier Motivation and Fitness is a motivation brand that mixes in fitness, because without fitness, to me, I wouldn't be motivated. Being in the gym and working out is kind of like therapy to me.
Yeah,
So it kind of goes hand in hand for me, and I kind of want to tie it in for others as well. But no, Top Tier Motivation and Fitness was a brand that I started in 2021, which was this year. But it was a long time coming, man. I think I had the vision in 2015, 2016. But I just wasn't there yet. I wasn't there yet as a man, as an individual. I had a lot of growing up to do. I had a lot of maturing to do. I had a lot of self-development to do before I stepped out and started to want to help other people.
yeah.
So yeah, man, basically the origins is from, when I was 25 or 24, I started going back to school. But, from the age of, let's just say when I had my daughter, 21 to 26 or 27, it was a lot of like confusion. Who am I? I struggled with, will I be successful? What kind of man will I be? I had all these questions and I had no guidance. I never really had my dad in my life. My brother was a big impact in my life, but sometimes he had things that he struggled with as well. Only raised by a single parent, which was my mom. Always worked, never was home. So I basically did what I wanted when I wanted. And without that structure and guidance, sometimes I led myself
That father figure too. Yeah, that makes it.
Yeah, just kind of fell down, and it was hard to get back up at times with not knowing how to. So what I did was I started searching for things that would help me, and all I could find was things on YouTube or on the internet, motivational speakers, Christian hip hop. I listened to a lot of it, and when I started to see that over a year or two, that listening to all these things started to change my way of thinking, then I started to really think like, wow, like what we think, what we put into our brain really has an effect on what we do. So I said, man, let me try this for another year, or let me try this for another 2 years. And I started to fill myself with these different ways of thinking, these positive motivational speakers, these millionaires, billionaires of the world. And when I started to think like them, my life started to change. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So because I had to go out and I had to search for it, right? I had to go look for it. It wasn't readily available to me in my community.
Right.
So I said, when I started to change my life and started to become more successful, I said, man, I want to be that voice. I want to be that person in my community that people just open up Facebook, open up Instagram, wherever I can reach you at, you're going to see that push, that different way of thinking, that change your mindset, change your life mentality. And so that's where it originated at, was, having these things change my life, and then wanting to make these things that changed my life readily available for the friends that I had in my community, my family. And then it just kind of started expanding from there. I went to go speak at Delmore. I went to go speak at a couple places. And I said, man, I got to brand myself. I'm just introducing myself, and I'm really not introducing me as a brand. And so that's why I prayed about it. And God gave me the name Top Tier Motivation and Fitness.
Yep.
And it's been a good year, man. A blessing for sure.
I hear you, because people don't realize that we all have something we need to stand on. That I always say this all the time: you are your own brand. People don't realize this or not, whether you're a businessman or not. I mean, you got to start with representing yourself, because nobody's going to do that better than yourself. So that's why I like to say you are your own brand and you are your own business, because, hey, we need to carry ourselves like a business. That way people can take us more seriously and let us know, hey, this guy might be onto something. And just that's where the respect factor and all that comes in. And I admire that, and I respect that fully. And it's crazy, because a lot of people don't know how I started health, fitness, wealth, business. Was ironically enough, well, a couple of things that, of course, I've been through in my life, kind of like how you did, dealing with depression, anxiety, off and on troubles with my relationship and almost losing all of that. What really sparked the fuse to it was when Kobe Bryant died. Because when I saw that he died, I was just like, man, anybody can go at any given moment. And what was the one thing that he always likes to preach is Mamba mentality, which is basically finding room for improvement, which is why I actually have this picture back here of him with the late great Nipsey Hussle. I don't know if you could see that. That's what motivates me every single day. Like I come in front of it every morning. I visualize like, hey, I need to channel my inner Mamba mentality and the whole marathon lifestyle as far as the marathon continues and all that stuff. So that's what motivates me to, of course, get me going every single day. I actually just recently did that before we even started this interview. But overall, back to like top tier motivation fitness as far as what's coming and everything. I know you mentioned that you have an event coming in May, man. You got to tell me more about that and how that came about for sure.
Yeah, so man, I got a Cinco de Mayo event coming on in May. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be dope for the community. So basically, man, that all started from, I remember having dinner with or lunch with Laz, man, months ago, and we're talking about we're just brainstorming some stuff, and I was telling him what I wanted to do with my brand and kind of like put on an event and just brainstorming with him, right? And a month or so goes by and he comes at me with the PhD Productions event and what he wants to do with that and if I'll be a part of it. I said, yeah, man, for sure. You know, so time goes on. We hold the event in November, man. Great event. It was dope. I was happy to be a part of it. And afterwards, I was talking to my girlfriend. I said, man, like I want to do something like I want to put on an event, you know, like a motivational event, right? A top tier thing, right? Then I started brainstorming. I was dropping off top tier shirts, man, to my friends. Boom, boom, hitting them all night. And I get to one of my good friends, Isaac. He's a owner or co-founder of Only Wolves and Company with Eric. And so I get with him and I'm telling him about what I want to do. He said, man, let's do it. Like, let's be a part of it. He starts shooting ideas at me. And so it just kind of is like a snowball domino effect. Like, you know, as I'm talking and ideas are being made, we're just like, man, this is what's going to happen. And then I have a friend of mine, Steven. I don't know if you remember him, Steven Teran. His mom works,
I remember him.
His mom works at the Garcia Center. And I get with her. So, you know, basically, you know, we're speaking it into existence, man. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be, you know, I was just listening to Mike last night say stepping out of your comfort zone. Putting on a big event like this is definitely stepping out of the comfort zone, man. Because, you know, you got to organize it. We have to have security. We have to have insurance. We have to pay for the event. It's just a lot of things that go into it. And to see the road ahead can be kind of intimidating, right? But that's stepping out of your comfort zone. So yeah, man, Top Tier Motivation and Fitness is going to be putting on an event in May for Cinco de Mayo. It's going to be at the Garcia Center on Agnes. We're still working out the dates right now. But in a rough nutshell, it's going to be an opportunity for business owners and vendors to rent out a space for $75. Tables and chairs will be provided. If you know, I encourage you to come out, Cliff, and promote your podcast out there. And
of course,
I'm
gonna be out there, man.
So yeah, man, and so $75 a vendor, and I'm hoping that will cover the cost and the security and the insurance, right? And then whatever is left over and whatever we have furniture for less that's going to be donating. We have Rock's vitamins and discounts. Rock's discount vitamins more. My friend Rodrigo is going to be out there with them. I'm still getting with a lot of people that already get sponsors and donors as well, because whatever's left over, whatever we have that is donated and money-wise, funds-wise, is going to be all donated to charity.
That's what counts.
And the event will be open to the public for free, no admission. And so we're planning on, I'm going to have 2 DJs, a food truck, and then like a dessert truck out there. And then we'll have moon jumps, games, face painting, all kinds of things for the family. So it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be a dope event. I'm still working out dotting my I's and crossing my T's on it, but it's definitely something that's gonna happen. And I encourage the community to look out for it. And Corpus Christi Chronicle will be running a story on it. I'm hoping to get this buzz going, man, and that way people can come. And at some point during the event, we'll shut down for a little bit. I'll have a few people come up and speak about their journey and their business, and then I'll close out with a speech, and we'll continue to have a good time, and then that'll be it, man.
So yeah, for those who are listening to the podcast right now, you heard it here first. Dave Messa, top tier motivation event coming Cinco de Mayo. It's going to be a beautiful thing for the community. As a matter of fact, this is something that the city of Corpus Christi, Texas needs to basically guide us through the 2022 because we don't know what the year is going to look like. So this event right here is something you got to be a part of, and all the money and everything is going towards charity. So you can't go wrong with that. It's all about giving back because we got to give before we can receive, and that's kind of like the whole theme of the holidays and everything and stuff. But I was seeing the other day, man, when you made your video about it, announcing your coaching services and stuff, man, I was like, oh, wow, man, what's going on here? I'm like, man, you got me, because a lot of people don't know this. I'm putting together maybe not a similar program to you, but maybe like a program to which I can, of course, teach people through like courses and like having like little games and putting together like an app and stuff. So for those who are listening right now, be on the lookout for the Hfwb program, which will be coming probably between January and March. I'm still kind of in the beginning stages of that. But anyways, about your coaching services, tell the people about that.
Yeah, so like, I've been running around the city, man, talking to groups of people, and I'm also a personal coach, right?
Yeah.
Coach. So I haven't really been, pushing that as much because I've been more on the motivational side and trying to push these events.
Yeah.
So I said, man, this month I announced that, I'll be doing personal development for a 1 monthly fee of $39.99, which is $40. So you pay a one-time fee a month, right? $40 a month, and it gives you access to me. It gives you access to what I'm doing, the knowledge that I have, the tools and tricks and trades that I've acquired over these years to kind of get me to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And so what I want to do is help people get to the next level, right? And then I'm still getting new levels. I'm reaching new levels every month, every year, right? Still striving for success in every way. So the program that I offer is basically going to be geared towards like a one-on-one conversation with whoever's ready to come on, try to see what they want to do, where they want to get to in that month, and then putting together the best plan I can for them to get there, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We're talking about across the board, not just like personal training for in the gym, but also personal training for life, like how to take on your daily challenges, your weekly challenges, and help you to get to the next level, and also just feel comfortable that you have someone there that supports you and that you can find comfort in coming to and talking with things about that you may not want to talk with other people about, right? It can get real personal, or it can stay like on a nuclear level where we're just trying to like build and do things that can help you become successful. Because I know sometimes with people, it's hard to get so, in depth with what they want to talk about, because sometimes it's embarrassing. It's kind of like, it's embarrassing, but also, sometimes. It's awkward to talk about these things. But I tell you what, Cliff, I wouldn't be where I was at today, man, if I didn't go in and have surgery on some of the things that some people want to put band-aids over things. Tell you what, man, you can't put a band-aid over a gushing artery. You know what I'm saying? You have to go in, you have to, get your hands dirty and surgically get in there. And so what that means in life sometimes is that as individuals, we really have to be honest. We really have to go in deep and figure out what it is that's blocking us from getting to that next level in our relationships, in our family, at work, in the gym, at home, at church. What really is blocking us, because there's things that, man, will keep us from success, will keep us from happiness, man. And if we don't recognize those things and make a plan of action to correct them, then we're going to stay stuck, man. So as a personal coach and as a development coach, that's what I'm here to do, man, is to help people get through those times and reach that joyful area, reach that happiness, reach that success in whatever they want to do, man. So like a one-time fee of $40 will get you that access. And so I'm excited, man. I've had some people that are interested. So it's going to be a good thing, man.
Yes. And
I'll tell you one more thing, that it's better to hop on now early, because in a year or 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it may not be $40 anymore. It may be $120, $200. Or
Gotta
you know
run
what?
it up,
Maybe
man.
I may be
Got
speaking
to.
all across the state of the nation that this opportunity to get that one-on-one coaching from me may not be there no more, you know?
Exactly. You got to take advantage of the opportunity while it's there. But I love what you're doing with that, because what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to help people overcome resistance. And it's funny that you mention that, because I'm actually reading a book right here. I'm actually going to show you this. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And it basically talks about how you can overcome resistance, and how resistance is like the main thing that keeps people from wanting to do what it is they want to do as far as accomplishing their goals and all that kind of stuff. So I personally recommend that you read this book. Like, I just got started reading it maybe about a week or two ago, and it's already changing my thinking as far as what I want to do going into the new year. But before I, of course, wrap everything up here with our interview and stuff, I got 3 personal questions that I want to ask you, man. First off, what is the first thing you do or say whenever you wake up? And I kind of have an idea of what your personal morning routine already is, but for those who don't know what Dave Messa likes to do to start their day off, what is your personal morning routine?
Well, man, throughout the years they've changed. So I'll tell you one that I had a couple years ago. It was an alarm clock that I used to wake myself up.
Yeah.
And basically it was just me speaking to myself, like, Dave, get up, Dave, go chase your dreams. It was just that was my routine every morning for about 2 years. Right now, recently, I made a little paper that has 3 quotes on it, and it's just my quotes. And the first one is your life is how it is because of you. It's your fault. Not to say it's my fault, but like whatever it is that's going on in your life is how it is because of you. It's your fault. So when I read that in the morning, I just remind myself, like, hey, like, my life is how it is because of me. It's my fault. Whatever I choose to do, however I choose to act, is on me. So that's one of the quotes. The second quote is, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's so I read the first one, I read the second one, and then the third one is practice and repeat healthy, productive thoughts. Repetition is key. Practice and repeat healthy, productive thoughts. Repetition is key. So in the morning, and I try to read it, I try to go over those 3 quotes 9 times. So I'll read it and I'll say, my life is how it is because of me. It's my fault. I'll be a millionaire one day. And then I'll go on to my practice and repeat healthy, productive thoughts. Repetition is key. And I'll just repeat those. And then that's my morning routine when I get up. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'll give you a little secret of what my morning routine is. I basically like to practice. You probably heard of this before. You may not have. Have you heard of The Miracle Morning by Hfwb?
No.
You got to buy that book, man, because that'll definitely teach you like the purpose of like personal development and like starting your day off in the right way and stuff. Because what I like to do personally every morning, I like to visualize what it is I want to do. I like to say, kind of like how you just said, as far as like you reading off quotes and stuff, you're basically doing what they call affirmations. So I like to have my own little affirmations and stuff that I actually read out of this book right here. There's so many affirmations alone: keep calm and trust God. Then of course I say my prayer, meditate, then I get my workout on, I write down my goals, do my readings. Basically, he talks about all that in that book within itself. And I think it would be perfect for someone like you, because you're always up early. And I would definitely recommend you read that book, The Miracle Morning by Hfwb. What to do before you get up at 8 in the morning, something like that. You definitely got to read that book for sure. But I got my next question here, as far as what is health and wealth in your own eyes?
Health and wealth in my eyes, well, is first of all, is having a healthy lifestyle, which goes beyond just physical fitness. We're talking about mental health, spiritual health. So being aligned with, being healthy in all aspects, first of all. And wealth to me is an abundance of joy and happiness, right? And I think that being wealthy, it doesn't always mean you're rich, there's a lot more wealth that comes. And I think that when you're aligned with Jesus and aligned with God's values and, aligned really spiritually with a higher power, and you really take it serious, and you're really questioning your actions, you're really questioning your thoughts, you're really disciplining yourself in the word, your health, your wealth will all be given to you. You won't have to worry about it, and whatever God's plan for you as far as health and wealth is concerned, it's our job to trust that if wealth is having a small home or a shack, but you're at peace and happy, and that's what God wants for you, that's the plan, and you have to trust in that plan, man. So I think health and wealth is for sure definitely something that goes beyond just fitness or money. It's greater than that. And if we could understand that, and if we could just really be humble in that idea, God's gonna give us all the things that we desire.
Yes.
I really believe that.
I agree, because at the end of the day, we're all in three phases in life. We're aspiring for more, we're already successful, and we're just trying to figure out how we can maintain that same momentum of success, or we're at a point where we failed and we're trying to find that motivation to tell us, okay, I can do this, and then I can be successful once I do this and get to that point of success. That's pretty much what everybody is at in their point in their life. At some point, it's one of those three stages: aspire, success, or failure. Pretty much point blank, simple, straight to it. But I got one more question before we wrap everything up here, and this is going to be a good one. What would you tell yourself 10 years ago, and where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years ago, man, let me see. I was 19 10 years ago. What would I tell myself? I would tell myself, because 19 years ago is when I gave my life to God. I remember that time, man. I was going through a lot, and briefly, I'll just say it briefly. I was going through a lot. I had my daughter with me in church. No, I'm sorry, I didn't have her yet. I was 21 when I had my daughter. So 19, I was struggling. I was going through a lot, man. Never having my dad. Always looking for guidance in individuals that I thought were guiding me the right way, but weren't really. So I remember 19 years old, man. I was in the church, man, and I looked up to the ceiling and I said, "Look, God, I'm gonna give you a chance to be my dad, and if it don't work, then I'm gonna do what Dave wants to do." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you knew probably how I acted back then, and
You're a completely different person than when you were back in the days. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what I would tell myself 10 years back right now at this moment is to do it again. Do the same thing. Look up and give your life to God. But this time, take it more seriously sooner, because at 19, I did do that. But the process from then to 29, I still was making some judgments and some things and some decisions that I shouldn't have made. So I would say, you know what, Dave, do the same thing, but tighten up and discipline yourself a lot more sooner. You know what I mean? Take it more, you know what I mean? Take it more serious sooner.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Because the plan worked, right? Like, man, give my life to God, and just, I remember that moment changed my life forever. I'll never forget it. But I would tell myself, tighten up, discipline yourself, take it more serious. Because I could be right now at 29, I could have been here at 24 if I would have just tightened up and disciplined myself a little more. You know what I mean?
It's better late than never, man. Better late.
Yeah, and I think what'd you say where do I think I'll be in 10 years?
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yeah.
In 10 years, I see myself speaking in Mexico and Canada.
Ooh.
And I see myself
that vision.
out of the line of business that I'm in now, retiring from that, and basically, launching, my brand, and launching my girlfriend's brand too. She has a store she wants to open up. It's called Lane 415. And so we have a lot of ideas, man, and a lot of things that we want to do. In 10 years, I see myself stronger in faith. I see myself, with, a couple $1 million in the bank account, and not only being blessed, but blessing others.
That's what it's about, man.
Oh, and I'm gonna start taking Spanish classes at A&M for my electives, because I plan to speak in Mexico, and motivate the people in that area of the world too, and going to Canada, and then going across overseas, man. I just, you know, it starts now here in the city, and you know, and if that doesn't happen, fine. Whatever God has in store for me, that's what I'm gonna do. But that's where I see myself.
No, that's a great vision to have, man, for sure. I mean, you got to think big like that sometimes. You know, you got to, like, I remember you saying this. You want to start from the city, work your way up to the state, nationally, and then hey, take it all around the world, man. And that is the same idea that I have here at Health, Fitness, Wealth Business. It's just a step-by-step process we all got to go through, and we can't cheat the process. That's the most important thing.
Exactly, yeah.
But other than that, man, let the people know where they can find Dave Messa, and just, hey, give them a reminder of what's to come, even though you've already mentioned it, man.
Yeah, no. So, man, you know, thank you, Cliff, for having me on this morning. And you can find me, Dave Messa, Top Tier Motivation and Fitness, on YouTube. All you have to do is go to the search bar and put in Dave Messa. That's DAVE. And then my last name's MESA. Just search Dave Messa. I have a YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram at DMessa26. You can also find me on Snapchat. That's Bay City DM. You can find me on Facebook under Dave Messa. Top Tier Motivation and Fitness has a lot of things coming up. That event in May, it's going to be great for the community. I encourage you that if you do find me on a social media platform, you want to reach out. If you have someone that's in need of help, in need of personal development, if you have a group of people, a school, a gym, whatever it may be, a baseball team. I just was over messaging with a friend of mine, Damien, about going to talk to his little league team. So, man, it's wherever you need me, man. If I have the time and God allows me, I'll be there. I just talked with a friend of mine's cousin the other day, a young kid. He needed some guidance. I'm not opposed to talking to anyone at any time. If you need it, I'm here. Top Tier Motivation and Fitness is here to motivate you, is here to inspire you. And just know that as a man, as an individual, there's things that I struggle with. There's battles that I wake up every day and fight. But when I continue to fill my head with things that are helping me, I'm preparing myself for those daily battles. So if you're listening now, I encourage you to prepare yourself for these daily battles, man. Don't go in battle unarmed, with no sword, with no protection, with no plan. Come on now, guys. We're not the best. We're not the Navy SEALs aren't the best in the world because they're unprepared. No, they go through months and years of grueling training. So when you're faced with life's challenges, y'all, like, don't be not prepared, be prepared. So if that's something that you're interested in and you see value in that, go find me, go look for me. And I'm hope to hear from you all.
This is a very, very motivational episode. I wish we could keep this going on and on and on, but you heard it here first, man. Dave Messa, Top Tier Motivation and Fitness. Y'all need to be in tune with what this guy got going on, man, because we're only getting started and it's only going to get bigger and better from here on out. Because like I said, me, Dave, Mike, Lazarus, PhD Productions, 2022 is definitely going to be our year. And we're all going to make an impact some way, somehow. We're going to come together and we're going to unite and we're going to show love to the community. We're going to see how far we can take this, man. But overall, man, thank y'all once again for tuning in to another episode of the HFWB podcast series. Y'all go check out Dave Messa at all his stuff with Top Tier Motivation and Fitness. Y'all stay healthy, y'all stay wealthy, y'all stay blessed. Until next time, everybody.